Rolling, Mr. Malik?
Sir.
Thank you. Our clerk, let's go to order. This is on the agenda. Let's go to our clerk, please.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You might sit down, please. Welcome. Special opportunity. Number three, go ahead and establish quorum. Let me have it.
Guillermo Madrid.
Here.
Mary Garcia.
here.
Gloria Rodriguez.
Here.
Maria Reyes.
Here.
Jesse Ganda.
Here.
Mayor, we have quorum.
Thank you very much. I'm going to start with the good news for the city of Socorro and the whole metro area. I received a phone call from the electric company that the Paso and electric company settled the case, and they're going to lower the rates starting June. Okay, so that's something that I think is good for our company.
They were able to save 15 million. Their initial rate decrease was asking for 25 million, and the city of El Paso negotiated on a $15 million decrease.
So that's something good.
Those were mostly public entity rates too, which
Public
is another way of looking at
number
it.
four. Public hearing and enacting of an ordinance regulating the permitting fees, licensing penalties, and insuring of each fireworks and stand selling or otherwise dealing, and or with fireworks with the municipal limits on within 5,000 feet of the municipal limits of the city of Socorro, Texas. This is a public hearing. Anyone wish to speak? Express opinion, complaints, concerns? Being that no one is in it? Oh, like to close the meeting? I'm sorry. This public hearing, 5:02.
It started at 5:02.
Started 5:02. Okay,
Okay, so for the record, open at 5:02 and then ended at 5:02. Okay.
regular agenda, second reading and adoption on enactment of an ordinance regulating the permitting fees, licensing, penalties, and issuing of each fireworks and standing, selling, or otherwise dealing in or with fireworks within the municipal limits and within 5,000 feet of the municipal limits of the city of Socorro, Texas. Number four, that's for Mr. Nofri, and
Motion to approve.
I have a question for Mr. Nofri. Are we talking about within the 5,000 feet of the municipal limits, ETJ, or municipal limits? Because I think that 5,000 feet is on the ETJ.
It's one of the same. It's one of the same, if I'm correct?
Yeah, the regulation is the same within both within the entire area.
They're synonymous.
For fireworks, because it's considered to be a nuisance, you can make the same regulation for what's inside the city and what's within the ETJ.
Okay, regardless of the El Paso County jurisdiction as well?
Well, you have a well-defined ETJ, which is pursuant to court order between yourselves and the city of El Paso.
What about El Paso County government?
Well, as long, El Paso County doesn't have an ETJ, so to the extent
Our
that...
ETJ lies inside the El Paso government.
Right, and you have jurisdiction to regulate fireworks within that ETJ.
They do have.
No, we do.
You do.
Yeah, I know, but
As a city
they have
support.
restrictions also.
No, your authority as a municipality extends to regulating nuisances within your extraterritorial jurisdiction, and fireworks is considered a nuisance. So you have exclusive authority to regulate fireworks in the ETJ.
Okay, thank you. And so I have a concern on issue of popping fireworks inside the city of Socorro. As it is permitted in one of the sections, and I'm not ready to mention it, but it is included. Is this a request from the fireworks sellers, or is your deal, Mr. Lopez? Is your sponsor of this item?
Well, actually, no, it was my original item, but since council approved it, it then got thrown to administration. But if you remember 2 weeks ago, I sponsored the item for fireworks.
Yeah, I know that.
By name.
Back then, yes.
So once council took action on it as a body, it then directed the administration by the votes and by it passing council for administration to pursue it. So although he authored it, so I guess any question that you have, you can direct them towards me and I can answer them since I was the one who authored the item.
Okay, so is this a request by business owners on regards to fireworks, or that's your deal?
Actually, this as you remember historically, this ordinance has been in place for 4 or 5 years.
7 years.
7 years. And everybody, and I remember being first coming on council and asking our city attorney and saying, it doesn't really make sense. We're going to sell them, but then we're going to prohibit everybody from popping them. And the attorney said, don't worry about it. We're just doing it for liability reasons. That's the only reason we include that. But of course, everybody's going to pop. And as all of you know, in the past 7 years, everybody has popped in the city of Socorro without any fear of law enforcement. That long-standing tradition came into conflict last year when the county banned fireworks through the whole county, which had never been done before. So it then took this what I would call a good old boy ordinance and drew it into conflict with the county. And so everything proceeded as normal. What this ordinance does, Mr. Lopez, is it addresses all of the states that were there last year in anticipation that the county may ban fireworks again. The county has not banned fireworks this year yet. They have a fire burn, which is different from a fireworks ban. And normally when they do a fireworks ban, they'll do that about a month and a half before the fireworks season. So what this ordinance attempts to do is before they ban fireworks again, if they do, we need to clean up all the issues that we had last year. One of the biggest issues that the county brought to our attention was they said, we're trying to prevent fires. What this ordinance does for the first time, regardless if they have a ban or not, is it will prohibit the sale, not just the popping, the sale of all fireworks that go up and come back down. And you'll see that in section 6. Which says that anything like a bottle rocket, basically anything that you light that goes up, and it has a potential for coming back down to earth lit. And that's something that's, again, that even if the county decides not to ban, we'll still have that regulation in place, which I think is a good idea. Now, we know through many different types of surveys that the ones that pop in the air, they don't come back to earth lit. The ones like bottle rockets that have a stick or a fin, they do have the potential for coming back to earth. So we've addressed that concern by the county that properties may catch on fire by these fireworks that go up and come back down somewhere that nobody knows. And that's addressed in section 6. We also had the issue last year of people popping on right-of-ways. So the issue was, how do we fix that? Because we don't want people popping on right-of-ways. Well, we've allowed the vendors to create safe zones. This is attractive to vendors because if they clear a property next to their stand of all debris, and they have to have a fire suppression plan approved by the city. And normally, what I've heard in different cities where they've used this is they'll actually make people sign waivers because they're going on a private property owned by the vendors. What that does is after you pop your fireworks, well then there's a fireworks stand right there, so you go and you buy more fireworks. So it's economically advantageous to these firework vendors to set up safe zones. We've also allowed for the ability that if we wanted to do our own fireworks displays, we could create our own safe zones. So we address, again, it's all about addressing what were the problems last year and how do we fix them. The next issue that we came across was again, going back to this old historical where we're going to sell, but we're not going to allow you to pop. Well, that seems silly. I mean, everybody knows that defies common sense. So if we're going to allow people to buy, then there should be some ability to pop. For instance, There are a lot of families. We're one of the youngest communities here in El Paso County. Our workforce, as Redco has pointed out recently in newscasts, it has shown that we're the youngest area here in the county. We have a lot of young families. So it seems silly to not allow people to buy children's fireworks and pop them at home, whether it be sparklers or little smoke bombs. And so what we've allowed is we've allowed the planning and zoning director in section 11 to create a list of approved fireworks meant for children, meant for families to enjoy celebrating the holiday. So this ordinance, the reason we're taking it up is we don't want to get caught like we did last year with an ordinance that's outdated. This is something that the county cannot do legally. The county doesn't have the ability to create a smart ordinance like we're doing today. They either have to ban them as a whole or let them as a whole. They don't have the flexibility to do what we're doing, which is create different avenues, create different situations, allow, not allow. They have to do all or nothing, and we're not in that situation. We can set up different guidelines. So that was the purpose and the intent. So no, the vendors did not approach me to put this ordinance through. This was just something that I saw that was a mistake last year, that we had mistakes last year, and me being proactive, trying to correct those mistakes before we get to the problem.
If I may,
Yes, sir.
basically, in essence, what you're saying is not only sell the fireworks, but control the fireworks. And that's the reason that all these cities falter in their ordinance about fireworks. Here, it kills a bird, two birds with one stone.
I couldn't put it
You
better.
can sell them and control them at the same time, which is basically what we're looking at.
So every person who would desire or wish to fireworks, or pop fireworks, they want to come to the city of Socorro to see Mr. Leoni for a permit.
No, Mr. Did you read the ordinance, Mr. Lopez?
I'm reading it right here.
Okay, because nowhere in there, in the ordinance does it say that, so I wonder why you asked that question.
The Socorro Planning and Zoning Director is authorized to develop a list of non-explosive devices and develop the list of approved, And
It's not la, la, la.
Okay, so that is over going here, section 11.
Yes. Where do you get that anybody from El Paso can come in here and get a permit to pop fireworks from the planning and zoning director? Where in that paragraph did you read that? That everybody from El Paso can come get a permit to pop fireworks?
It is the devices which might be ignited on residential property under the control and supervision of an adult.
Are you still on section 11 or have you moved?
Section 11.
Okay, where are you at?
Section 11.
Okay. Read it again. The part that's confusing me?
And as it's continuing and developing the list of approved and permitted devices and planning and zoning directors shall be guided by the intent of the city council, which is to permit families to enjoy non-explosive devices.
Oh, you're using the word permit wrong. It's permit as an allow, not permit as in a certificate that you get from the planning and zoning director. It's like, I can see that woman walking towards me, and I'm at the C, el mar. It's two different words. You're confusing the word permit, Mr. Lopez.
No, to me that's the interpretation that I have. And
It's the English language, Mr. Lopez. I'm not going to give the English language.
That's fine. That's you might have something in mind, but the word permit is here to permit families.
Anybody, I'm sorry, but I think anybody with a grasp on the English language knows that you have to take that word in context with the sentence. You're not taking that word in context in the sentence. They teach you that. Okay, so again, I'm not going to debate the English.
It's a verb and not a,
Yeah.
Question. How are you going to enforce this tonight? Are you going to have extra police officers on duty? Are you going to do shift change? What are you going to do in order to make sure that this is abided by? Mr. Norfleet?
Well, what I would do is obviously go over it with the police department to make arrangements to enforce it, to contain the popping in the allowed areas that's designated by the planning and zoning department.
So we're going to do shift change?
I don't think it'll make a shift change, but at least to have rotating around and looking and hearing and phone calls to designate if people are popping outside a particular zone.
one thing the ordinance does do by giving that authority to the planning and zoning director, then through Mr. Norfleet's authority in being reasonable, then you can be reasonable about the number of safe zones that you might permit, so that doesn't get out of hand as well.
How many are we looking at?
There's no limit within the ordinance, but administratively, you would have the authority to regulate how many of those that you permitted, because there's just so much authority to control.
Okay, so my question was very simple, and we came up to a lot of explanation that I was asking for. So that's you're not Mr. Norfleet, not the vendor.
That's correct.
That was you. Thank you. Okay, I have a motion.
Second.
Second by Ms. Garcia. All those in favor?
Guillermo Madrid,
Yes.
Mary Garcia,
Yes.
Gloria Rodriguez,
Yes.
Maria Reyes,
No.
Jesse Gandra.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, motion carries 41. And next item on the agenda. To adjourn.
Thank you for executive.
We have nothing unless you have questions. One thing that I can report that would have been in executive session is that we understand in connection with the TCEQ matter related to the Waco Tanks Road, that the administrative recommendation has been made to dismiss that. We haven't gotten that confirmed from them yet, but we expect it soon.
Thank you very much. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
And second by Ms.
Guillermo Madrid,
Yes.
Mary Garcia,
Yes.
Gloria Rodriguez,
Yes.
Maria Reyes,
Yes.
Jesse Gandra.
Yes.
Okay, we adjourn at 5:17.
We got educated in the tanks and found out that it was my property, the dumping was taken. Which I should have checked out before we decided. It's started to say by the instructor.
Thank you.